Okay, so the 10,000 mile road trip. Let's get on about that. What does a 10,000 mile road trip entail though? What's going on, man?
I know you from YouTube.
You do? Oh, say hi to YouTube.
What up, YouTube?
We're filming right now.
From Vernal, baby.
Vernal, Utah, nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How's she running?
She's running great. Let's,
Sounds good.
Now every trip down to Salt Lake City has to include a stop at the Ferrari and Maserati dealership of Salt Lake City. Now there's some pretty cool cars in the inventory. There's some F430s, 458s, FFs. They do have a Ferrari 458 Speciale Aperta. Speciale. That was pretty close. California T. But the good stuff, the really, really good stuff is in the service facility. So let's go take a quick look. Check that out. A white Ferrari 599. This has the HGTE package, the handling package. This thing looks so clean and white. Absolutely awesome. If we pan over here, we got an F430, a 360. Check out this Dino. This Ferrari Dino. Got a Vet, another 599. Aston Martin. Yeah, this is stacked back here. I'm not gonna show you what's over there because it's very, very special and we have to save the best for last. 599, two 599s. I've never actually seen a 599 driving on the road in Utah. F430 Spider, another F430 Spider. We got the Skittles over here, a couple orange Lotus Elises, yellow Ferrari 458 Italia. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maserati. So, there's a holy grail car sitting in this parking lot. You might have seen it when I was showing the white 599. I was trying to hide it, but this thing, Ferrari Enzo. Oh my goodness gracious. This thing is incredible. So Ferrari only built 399 of the Enzos. You know, one of the legendary Ferrari supercars. Check out this license plate. So it's MM Enzo. That stands for most miles Enzo. I believe this car has about 52,000 miles on the odometer. It's so cool. Now this car participated in the Utah Fast Pass rally a couple years ago. Now it's a rally that's in the state of Utah. It benefits, I believe, the Utah Highway Patrol. Basically, they shut down state highways all around the state of Utah and cars can test their top speeds. Super cool. Well, this Enzo, I think it was going about 190 miles an hour. I don't know exactly the extent or why it happened, but the guy wrecked the car. The car was just incinerated. I'll put a picture of the car. Absolutely insane. So they decided to rebuild the car. They actually put a twin turbo setup on it and they raced it out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. It hit somewhere in the 230 to 240 mile per hour range. Let's take a look at it. Check out the exhaust tips on this car. I can only imagine this thing screams. So cool to see an Enzo. This thing is bad. Oh, Enzo. So this car came out, what was it, 2003, 2004? It's definitely one of the holy grail cars for me. We'll go take a look inside the showroom. I'll show you guys that Speciale Aperta. There's also a model of a LaFerrari. It's a real LaFerrari, but it doesn't get driven, so it might as well be a model. Yeah, let's go take a look inside. Okay, so I got so involved in the Enzo, got to take a quick look around this Dino. I was fortunate enough to drive one of these at one point. This is the 246 GTS. These things are worth so much money. Really, really cool design. You know, these cars, they never actually had the Ferrari badge. So Dino is Enzo Ferrari's son. The car has all Dino badges on it. As you can see, no prancing horse. All right, so we're gonna go cruise into the Ferrari showroom. But remember, we're driving a Lamborghini. This is enemy territory. And in a Ferrari dealership, you have to be very, very quiet because there's no talking allowed. It's a very stuffy environment. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I get a little camera shy when I go into these showrooms because they're super quiet. There's people walking around in suits. I mean, you could hear a pencil drop. So I'll probably be pretty quiet. So this is the LaFerrari that never moves. Always breaks my heart to see it. It's like a caged horse with the stanchions all around it. These cars have become worth so much money that nobody drives them. I don't know about you guys, but if I had a LaFerrari, I'd be driving it every day. There's more in life than just money. .355 Spider, F430 Spider, FF 458, 430 California T. Here's the Speciale Aperta. It's like the Tour de France blue. Has the white stripes. Check out the gold wheels. And there's the red interior. Pretty wild design. Looks pretty cool though. Well, another awesome trip at the Ferrari dealership. You know, this is the only exotic car dealership in the state of Utah. So this is kind of this is the place to see the cool cars. So we are gonna head up Big Cottonwood Canyon because I have my Phantom 3 quadcopter. We're gonna go fly it. Look how perfect that fits in the trunk of the Lamborghini. It's like it was meant to be. Now before we can get out of here, the Ferrari dealership has the absolute worst parking situation of any dealership I've ever been to. You can see this dip. I don't know if that doesn't really do it. That doesn't show it either. Just trust me, guys. The camera doesn't show it, but this dip is awful. So when I had my Lotus Elise, I only scraped bottom in that car one time. It was leaving the Ferrari dealership. Luckily the Lamborghini, it has the front end lift. Lifts the car up about 3 or 4 inches, but it's still a massive pain trying to get out of this dealership. So this is super exciting. So I am here at the Porsche dealer in Salt Lake City. I have stopped by this dealership so many times searching for this elusive Martini Porsche 918 Spider. It's finally here. You can see it in the showroom. We'll be sure to walk in, but it looks pretty sick. Let's go take a look. This thing is so cool. The acid green. Brake calipers. Looks so cool. I've never seen this exact design, this exact Martini livery on a 918. It looks really cool though. This has the Wysack. Is that how you pronounce it? The Wysack package? It's just littered with carbon fiber. I don't know what this piece is called, but it's carbon fiber wing. It's cool how the backup camera is built into the rear diffuser like that. I never noticed that before. This car, of course, lapped the famed Nürburgring in 6 minutes and 57 seconds. The exhaust. I can only imagine this thing screams. This thing is so cool. Finally found this 918. I've seen this car on social media everywhere. To finally see it in person is really, really cool. One moment, please. We have an underpass, and like clockwork, Every time, baby. Every time. Every time. Oh my goodness. I love the sound of this car. It sounds so good. Oh, what I love so much is that when you want the car to be quiet, it can be quiet. When you want it to be loud, it can be ferocious. An absolute monster. Main reason I don't do the maintenance on this car myself. It all comes down to value. All comes down to value. All comes down to having service records. I don't intend on owning this car my entire life. In 3 or 4 years, there's probably a pretty good chance I'm gonna sell it.